Hello and welcome to another episode of Unworthy History. Today we got some more actual history for you from this book right here, Indian Depredations in Texas by J.W. Wilbarger, published all the way back in 1889. Now this story today takes place near New Braunfels, Texas, along the Guadalupe River. It's called 10 Surveyors. During the summer of 1838, a party of 10 men went from Bastrop County up the Guadalupe River above the town of New Braunfels on a surveying expedition. Having reached the locality where they intended to begin work, without seeing any sign of Indians, they thought there was no danger, and neglected to take the ordinary precautions to guard against surprise. Among these men there was one old frontiersman who endeavored to convince them of the necessity of standing guard at night and keeping a good lookout in the daytime. But finding that his advice fell upon the heedless ears, he became disgusted, left the party, and returned home. On his arrival in the settlements, he stated the reason why he had left the surveyors, and prophesied that none of them would ever return home. His prophecy was fulfilled to the letter. The surveyors having been out considerably longer than the time appointed for their return, a party was organized to go in search of them. After hunting in vain for several days to find some trace of the surveyors, they accidentally struck the very spot where they had all been murdered by Indians. It appears from all the indications that the party had found a number of bee trees close together, and that they had felled 6 or 7 of the trees before they attempted to take the honey. About the time the last tree fell, it is supposed that they were suddenly attacked by a large party of Indians. Though taken, no doubt, by surprise, it was evident the surveyors had fought to the last. Nothing certain, however, is known about the fight, as not one of that little band was left to tell the story. There were the big trees untouched just as they had fallen, and there also were the skeletons of the 9 men. Only one of the skeletons could be identified, that of a young man by the name of Beatty, which was found lying at the root of a tree on which, with his pocket knife, he had rudely carved his name. It is supposed he had been mortally wounded by the Indians and left for dead, but had revived sufficiently to carve his name upon his own tombstone before he died. So that's the end of this story. This is a really short one. There's a lot of short stories like this in this book, Indian Depredations in Texas. So this is another sad story of some surveyors who were attacked by Indians back in 1838, similar to another surveying fight that I covered recently, the Battle Creek fight in Navarro County, Texas. So if you want to hear more episodes like this, then be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time on Unworthy History.